Welcome back to the channel, guys. Money Marriage and Media. My name is Mike. I'm your host. Today's topic is finances. We're going in the financial area, and more specifically, the one topic that I use to discern whether or not if I'm watching something on YouTube, I use this topic to determine whether or not the person is is their information going to be beneficial to me. Now, net worth is what we're talking about today, folks. So a lot of times what I see on YouTube in particular, or just in general, in life in general, is when people try and give you advice about finances, I use net worth to determine whether or not they going to help me overall, or is this something that is more nuanced or more niche that doesn't really apply to a whole lot of people. How do we do that? Well, let's go ahead and first we're going to define net worth, right? Simple. We're just using Google here. So how do you define net worth? I Googled it, right? Net worth definition. Okay. Calculate your net worth and more. Net worth is the value of all assets minus total of all liabilities. To put another way, net worth is what you owned minus what is owed. Basically, you're going to add up the total of everything that you own, and then you're going to take away how much you owe, how much debt you have, right? So that will give you what's left over, will give you your net worth. And like I said, this is how you want to in the financial world, this is how we judge people, how we grade them, right? Because I know, so I spent 5 years as a financial coach. My main duties for that was it was my job to sit down with families and basically talk them to their finances, help them set realistic goals, and we come up with a game plan for them to achieve it. And a lot of times what I found is that people tend to grade themselves off of how much money they make. Hey, that's great. Let me tell you something. You'll be surprised how many people I sat down with where they're making good to great money, but their net worth is negative. What does that mean? That means they're broke. Plain and simple. Like I said, man, and I'm not talking about, your net worth is negative 500 or $1,000. I'm talking about your net worth is negative $30,000, negative $40,000. But a lot of times we delude ourselves into thinking that everything's okay. Why? Because we make good money. Listen, let's make an adjustment here because I don't like this way this is looking. So we're going to put this here. Yeah. And then we're going to go here. Okay. Yeah. So, what does that mean? Okay. So again, if you're receiving financial advice from somebody and they're telling you to lower your net worth, that might not be somebody you want to be taking advice from. And this happens a lot more than you think. Well, I would never, lower my net worth. That's just stupid. Oh, okay. Remember, every time you take out a loan, you're lowering your net worth. Yeah, debt is it's the quickest way to devalue yourself. And if you notice when we read the definition, it doesn't tell you about good debt or bad debt. It just says owed. When you owe something, yeah, that brings down your net worth. That's why you got to be careful. So look, we're going to talk more about that later, but those videos are coming, most definitely. Today, we want to look at some statistics, all right? So we're going to go to blackdemographics.com, and we're going to bounce back and forth between that and Google. But blackdemographics.com, stats that are for black people by black people, okay? So I've got it pulled up right now. We're looking at median net worth of black families. Okay, a lot of people don't know about this. They just, again, they're going off of income, but that's not a good way to track how you're doing with your finances. So already we can see what? So we see whites, non-Hispanics. Let's make this a little bit bigger. So yeah, okay, yeah, there we go. Okay, so the blue line represents whites, non-Hispanics, right? Okay, and then we've got the dotted line is the U.S. median. That's the average. And then at the bottom, well, we've got, black or African American, and then we also have Hispanic or Latino. Now, what we have here is this data is from 2016. Now, if you go to the census, you might find, or the CDC may have some information too, but I like the Black demographics because that's actually who they pull from, but it's nice to have everything in a concise location, right? But if you want to research it further, that's where I would start. But for here, we can see that we are on the bottom. Okay, why? Well, like I told you, or a lot of times we're using the wrong measuring stick when it comes to finances. Now, where do we go after here? Okay, well, see, one way of measuring wealth in addition to income is considering net worth. Again, this is the definition again. But as you can see, like we have had a steady incline since 1989. That's great. I mean, but we're not really closing the gap. We did a little bit in the 90s because you can see everybody else's net worth is going down, or whites and non-Hispanics is going down, and ours is going up. And then, of course, it turns back around, and whereas we just kind of fizzled, our white counterparts are increasing theirs consistently. Then look what happens. You get that drop off around 2010. Well, I think we all know what happened then, right? And then again, starting to shoot up again. Now, what's different about our community? Well, you're gonna hear one of the. I hate using these buzzwords because they're really starting to lose meaning, and I'm disliking it more. But financial literacy, yeah, it's an overused term. It's right up there with wealth building, and those are just buzzwords. People, pay attention to what's actually going on. This is why I say, look, you don't have to take my financial advice, but start grading people who are giving you advice a little bit harsher, right? Because again, they're not talking about net worth. I have a hard time following the information that they're giving me. It's just, it is what it is. Now, one of the things that you can be weary of or pay attention to is this chart right here. Say, hold on, let's see if we can get this. Ooh, we don't want to do that. Okay, let's go down. Okay, net worth by asset. Okay, home ownership is a great way of building net worth. Now, because you can see it's the first one on the list. Own a home, 2005, right? $76,000 of net worth is attributed to the person owning a home. That's very important, right? Home ownership is very cool, and it's a great way to build wealth. Now, in African Americans, we're at 76,000, but if you notice, our white counterparts are at 95, right? Okay, but look at what else is going on here. We've got rental properties, 82 versus 125. And again, you see what happened in 2009. We know what happened. Housing industry took a dive. That's why a lot of these numbers go into the red, and you see percent change is negative. That means it's losing money. It is what it is, right? That's the housing market for you. Every once in a while, it's not something that happens repeatedly. But if you talk to older real estate agents, they can tell you about, like, people who've been in the industry for about 50 to 60 years. They will tell you that, yeah, stuff like this happens. I mean, every so often. It usually takes like a couple decades for it to happen, but most of them will tell you that when it does happen, it's not time to sell. It's time to hold, because the values do come back, right? Yeah. So other financial institutions accounts, 401ks. This is where it starts to get. This is where it starts to get real. Okay, stocks and mutual funds. This is almost even, right? But here's where it starts to take a dive: IRA and Keogh accounts, 401k and thrift accounts. Okay, look at this. The numbers are literally almost double. Financial institution accounts, right? Other interest earning accounts. Yeah, business equity is almost the same. See, now, look, I'm not going to get into business equity because that's very detailed. We don't need to get in that. Remember, this is designed to be surface level stuff. Vehicles, $2,800 in vehicles. Now, I know what you think. Well, my car costs more than that. I don't know what they're talking about. Yeah, you know why? You want to know why this is a real number? Because most of you are paying car notes. Yeah, car notes count as debt. Debt moves your net worth into the negative, brings your net worth down. So if you're paying a car note, congratulations. When you sign that paper, you just lowered your net worth. Same thing happens when you use credit cards. Yeah. So I'm always wary of people who tell me that they want to build their finance. They're going to build their finances by taking out credit cards, borrowing money. Well, if borrowing your money lowers your net worth, what benefit does that have in the long run? We're going to build my credit. Okay. Well, credit is a rung below income when it comes to measuring your finances. Okay. People in financial services, they don't go by your credit score. Your credit score is only good for one thing, people, one thing only: borrowing more money. But if I just told you that borrowing money is what lowers your net worth, why would you want to continuously do it? But Mike, we just talked about homeownership, and that's a loan too. Yeah, it is. But when you're taking out a mortgage, the thing there is that homes are worth more today than they were when you took out the loan in most cases. And the other thing is that you're going to have to live somewhere, and wherever you're living at, chances are you're going to be paying somebody. That's why home ownership, in my book, is okay. It's okay to take out a mortgage. Now, if you can buy a home cash, hey, that'd be great, because then you're not paying, your monthly expenses go down tremendously. As a matter of fact, we're going to have another conversation. We're going to do another video about budgeting, because one of the things I experience as a financial coach is a lot of times, I get the excuse, I don't have owugh money. We just don't have enough money to save up, for retirement. So what you're really saying is that, owning a pair of Jordans is more important than you being able to walk away from your job that you probably hate. You'd rather work there to the day you die. I mean, it's cool if you want to do that. That's your choice. But I don't know about you all, but saving for retirement is highly important to me. But look, we're getting off topic here. The whole point of this video was to talk about net worth and ways of building it. Now, because these are all examples, but I'm going to tell you an insider secret right now, right? Most people don't realize this, but the quickest way to raise your net worth, pay off your debts. Yeah, that's amazing, right? I know it's such a a renegade comment, right? Paying off all your debts. Who thunk it, right? Yeah. Pay back all the people that you told that you were going to pay them back when you borrowed the money. Everybody's in debt today. No, they're not. No, they're not. No. When you get down to it, and like I said, when you spend all that time working in financial services, you meet some well-to-do people, and there are not, most of them who tell you that, oh, no, I don't borrow money. No, that's just dumb. Yeah. Look, I'm going to dedicate a whole episode to credit, because it's a lot of people giving you out there, giving financial advice about credit. And it's like, okay. So we're going to leave it here. Like I said, we're always striving to move the conversation forward. And I'm going to leave you with a riddle here of something for you to think about, a rhetorical question. When most people don't know, it's a good thing to think about. But let's keep it here. So, question: If credit scores, FICO scores, whatever you want to call it, if they didn't come out until the 80s, how were people buying homes before then? Well, you can't do that today. Oh, but wait. Yes, you can. What? You mean I can buy a house without having a credit score? Yeah, you can. Happens all the time. But hey, like this video. I'll probably go into depth about that in another video if we ever get to that point. Because again, that's a high level conversation. We're trying to keep things entry level now, because believe it or not, I'm gonna start with the finance videos. I'm gonna start going back to previous videos. That's why it's important to get these basic definitions out there so that we can use these as a reference. That way I don't have to keep repeating myself over and over and over and over again, even though I probably will because it's YouTube. But yeah. All right, guys. I'm going to stay gold till the next time. Peace.